Hello, my name is Coretta Sisson, and I'm with the congregation of Jackson, Michigan. I met the late Pastor Frank Hampton Jr. at a revival in 1974 in Sumter, Michigan, and I was so impressed with his demeanor that I wanted to visit his congregation. So after visiting his congregation, I became a member. Shortly thereafter, I was divorced with 2 children, and under the pastorate of Pastor Frank Hampton Jr., I learned that there was divine healing, divorce, and remarriage. I learned about the unity of God's people. I learned that you must live free from sin in order to have eternal life. Before God saved me, I tried to take my life and the life of my 2 children. I was going to run my car over a cliff, but for some reason, the mercy of God and the angel of God wouldn't let the car go over the cliff. And I was there in my car seat, and my girls were in the back seat, and the door flung open. And I felt a hand on my shoulder. I was leaning over in the car, and I just threw my hand. I said, just leave me, let me go, leave me alone. But I didn't know then that it was an angel. But my older daughter, Carmen, she remembered it was a man that had came. It was an angel of God that came that night. And the next day, I thank God that I went to church and I gave my life to God. And that was in August of 1974. And God has blessed me and kept me saved from that time on. Being a single mother with 2 children, I learned soon to depend on God. I had to pray down jobs and homes, and I had to pray for my children when they got sick, and there were many trials and tribulations that we had to face. There was one instance where Sherry, she was in the kindergarten, and we found out that she couldn't see. So in the 1st grade, they gave her an eye test, and she had to wear glasses that were so thick. If any of you remember the bottom of a Coca-Cola bottle, that's just how thick her glasses were. She could not see, and we didn't know. But God, in later years, God healed her. Her glasses got broken, and God healed her eyes, where she was able to pass a driving test without her glasses. I want to thank God for that. And then my daughter Carmen, we were at a camp meeting. She had gotten pneumonia. She was so sick, but even in that, God healed her body. And I just want to thank God for how He came through for us. And being a single parent for the past 48 years, God has kept me celibate and free from reproach. I thank God for how He has sustained us and how God is able to sustain anyone that would live true to His word. In 1994, I was stricken with a ruptured appendix. And I had gone to the hospital, and the doctors, they had given me up to die. My doctor told me that I had at least 2 hours to live. But I want to thank God for how the saints were at the church praying for me. When they found out, got the word, they went before God in prayer, and it wasn't long. When I got ready to leave that doctor's office and I reached my home, God had healed my body, and He brought me through that deathly situation. I want to thank God for allowing me to live, and how many times I've had heart attacks. God has brought me through those heart attacks, touched my body, and He's been a faithful, faithful friend down through the years. And I just thank Him so much for how He has blessed me to live for Him. And I have determined down in my soul to live the rest of the days of my life for God. So I just want to give God the praise for all that He has done for me. And God is willing to sustain anyone who's willing to give their life to Him. God is able to save and He's able to keep. For the past 48 years, God has kept me without sin and above reproach. A single woman, and I thank God for it. May God bless you.